You're listening to Parasearch Radio, news, views and reviews from the world of the paranormal from across the UK and beyond. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web. Parasearch UK Radio. Parasearch Radio, broadcasting to the UK and beyond.
The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to Kerry Greenaway and Mark Manley on the Dark Mirror Paranormal Show, only on Parasearch Radio.
Good evening and welcome to the Dark Mirror Paranormal Show. My name is Kerry Greenaway, as you all know by now, and tonight I'm joined in the studio with the lovely Kaz Rooney. Good evening, Kaz.
Good evening, Kerry. How are you?
Oh, I'm flying high tonight, flying high. Before we move on to tonight's show, I want to give a little shout out to our lovely Mark Manley, who can't join us tonight. Now, I don't know if you guys out there know, but Mark had to have an operation to remove some cancer from his body. We won't say what part. But he's doing well. He's at home, but he's had a bad reaction to the anaesthetics and painkillers, basically. So he's feeling very sorry for himself and he can't make it. But he's all clear. He's got through the op and I believe they got it all. So get well soon, Marky Marks.
Yeah, get well soon, Mark.
Yeah, that's all I want to say on that one. And he's going to be missed tonight, isn't he, honey?
He will. But we're covering the topic he picked.
We are. We are covering the topic he picked.
Which is animals and the paranormal. Not aliens in the paranormal, but animals in the paranormal.
That's right, animals in the paranormal. Before we do that, though, we have a competition that's run off.
Oh.
We had a competition that was running for a tarot reading with my very good self. So we better draw that.
Go for it.
Do you reckon?
Kerry has got a little wooden bowl and she's got all the names on little scraps of paper. And she's shaking it about. Can you hear that?
Can you hear that, everybody? Right, and I've got one of these.
Yeah?
And the winner is...
Yes.
Oh, it's Bear Bedison Walker.
Oh, Bear.
Yeah, Bear's got a reading with me. Oh, I'm scared
done,
now.
Bear.
I'm absolutely terrified now.
She's amazing. She's a lovely woman.
No, she is. She's absolutely... I nearly swore there.
Phenomenal.
She is phenomenal. She's phenomenal. But she knows her stuff, so I'll have to be really good. Like, super good, as in, like, super, super good. That's incredible. Well done, Bear. Congratulations. You have won the tarot reading with myself. So I'll be in touch with you very, very soon to get that organised. Anyway, I think that's all the notifications.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think? Have I covered it all?
Yes, you have.
I think I have. So let's talk about animals and the paranormal.
Animals.
Okay.
Our little funny friends.
So, can animals, mainly I would say cats and dogs, because they're the sort of pets you generally have that give you the kind of reaction you're looking for. I don't know of any birds that have reacted to paranormal, like parrots.
Off the top of my head.
No, I've never sort of come across an encounter where a minor bird started shrieking out ghost, or anything like that.
Well,
so we're sort of sticking to the dog and the cat scenario here. Do you think then, Kaz, that dogs and cats can see and sense spirit?
Oh, definitely. I've got 2 cats. I have Peanut, who's a long-haired cat, and she's proper luscious and gorgeous and swans about like Queen Bee. And I have Sebastian, who's a tabby cat. And both of them have regularly run into rooms and freaked out at thin air and just ran back out the room again. So I think they can. But I've also noticed as well that the cats come and they will sit with a particular person, but there's no reason why. But they'll literally pick one person out of the whole family and go and sit with them at night time and stay there until the morning and then leave again, which I find quite strange. Because both of them go together.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that.
Well, they like each other.
Not really. They don't really bother with each other, to be fair.
Maybe. I don't know. Just putting it out there. I had a dog, a Cocker Spaniel, years ago. And my Cocker Spaniel was the scattiest thing in the world. And she would sit and stare at the stairs and growl. Like proper hackles up, growling. And there was one... She used to do it a lot. And then there was one occasion where I was alone in the house. I was quite young. I was living at home with my parents, age teenager at home. And I was reading a book and she was sat on my lap fast asleep and she suddenly sat bolt right up and started doing the growly thing. And then I heard, and I swear to God, I heard someone call my name from upstairs. And she went crazy. And I literally grabbed her lead and legged it out the house as fast as I could. I wouldn't go back until Mum and Dad were home. Really freaky that was.
I think... Did it do it all the time, though? Was it a particular time?
This was in the afternoon.
It was always in the afternoon?
No, it was all over the time, all over the show. We used to have like taps being turned on and the hob.
Really?
Yeah, the hob used to turn itself on at night. And then Dad used to get out quite often and he'd hear banging going up the stairs and then it would sort of stop halfway up the stairs and then he'd hear an ultra large bang and then it sounded like something fell down the stairs, which was fine when we were younger, but when I started going clubbing, he used to say it was me. But
you got the blame of it.
I ended up having the blame of it, but that was happening before I was doing that. But yeah, I mean, my mum used to leave a tea towel over the hob and she had to stop doing that because the hob used to turn itself on. It was like a gas hob, so you use one of those press the down buttons and turn the knob type thing. Yeah, so it was really active.
Can I ask something? What age were you and your siblings when that was going on?
Oh gosh, my sister's older than me, not by a lot. So we were teenagers. So this is through our like secondary school years. Yeah, I lived in it. It was the Mornington Road haunting, poltergeist haunting. 2 teenage girls in the house. My poor father. That's all I can say.
Problem solved.
Yeah, we've resolved that one. Debunked. It was a physical manifestation of hormones from the teenage girls living in property. Hi Lee, how are you? Lee's just popped into the chat room. If you are listening, guys, and you want to join into tonight's discussion, there's a little widget down the bottom of your screen. Click on that and it'll bring the chat room up. And you'll be able to comment on what we talk about. So, do animals see ghosts? I think they do. I definitely believe that. Yeah. They have better senses, don't they?
Well, I mean, dogs have got hearing that is far superior to ours. So they're going to hear things we don't hear.
It's
so you've
not
got
its main sense, though, a dog.
Yeah, but they do have a really good sense of hearing, though.
They do, but not as good as cats, actually. Cats have a better sense of hearing.
Well, there is that.
Dogs have a better sense of smell. That's their most important sense. So, for dogs, the most important sense is...
It may be the most important sense, but in relation to humans, their hearing is far superior to ours.
Oh, gosh, yeah, in relation to that. But it's smell followed by touch, sound.
Yeah.
Touch and sound. So actually, if you want to look at it in a scale, their sound one is quite low. But their sense of smell is actually really, really important. Now, a dog can sense something from 50 yards away.
See?
So when, like when people say, oh, he sensed when you were on your way home.
Yeah.
He could actually smell you.
Yeah.
He didn't actually sense you at all. It's not psychic power. It's just an incredibly sensitive nostril. So if you think your poor catch yesterday with that silly banging you were doing, they were like, oh my God, it was overpowering for you. So can you imagine what it was like for them poor things?
Yeah, but in fairness, I've got a bad chest and I shouldn't be doing it. But...
no, this is true. This is true. Oh dear. So I found that out about dogs. Their sense of smell is absolutely astonishing. And also their how they sort of receive information is like, for them it's an energy signature. So they recognise things through scent, because all the scent contains all this information about persons and that, say people, but all sorts of other dogs, all sorts of other things, right? And they can tell what has been there, who has been there, how long ago they were there, how close they are now, which way they went. That they could tell all that from smelling.
It's mad, isn't it?
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's just, and that's dogs. Now I looked into cats. Now the cats' top sense, as it were, is actually their hearing.
Mm.
Right? I found out this. Their ear, like the ear can turn.
Yeah.
32 muscles allows them to do that with their ear. They've got 32 muscles in their ears.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I know. Right, now get this. This is technical, scientific stuff, everybody. Pay attention.
Oh, here we go. Pay attention.
Lab coats. Safety glasses on.
She's got a titchy head on.
A cat can hear sounds 5 times better in terms of distance than a human. Okay? And the average cat can hear from 20 hertz up to around 65,000 hertz.
Do you know what? That makes sense, though. When you think about it, because, my cats could be up the top end of the house. And I've got quite a big house. I've got a 4-bedroom house. Mm-hmm. So they could be at the other end of the damn house. I can be in the kitchen, open a tin of food. Or open food. And literally they're straight at my back.
They're like, tin opener's out. Just open the kitchen drawer. Yep, tin opener. Now, they actually respond more readily to higher pitches, which is why cats seem to like women better, because we have a higher pitched voice.
Yeah, but that's nice though.
Of course it is.
So it is.
And I did find this out as well, which is nothing to do with this, but just as a side note. The ears also are involved in the cat's sense of balance. Right, so like they always land on their feet.
Yeah.
Or generally they land on their feet. 99.9% of the time they land on their feet. Right, and it's because there's a special organ in both of the cat's inner ears, which is called, everybody pay attention, vestibular apparatus. And that organ helps control balance, which is why they always land on their feet.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See?
There you go. Kerry's teaching us lots tonight.
Oh, mate, seriously, I've got loads more of these facts to come. I'm telling you now. Right? Now, the other thing is with senses and the animals, and we're only touching on it, obviously, it's the Dark Mirror show at the end of the day. We was looking at, we wasn't looking at it at all. We were talking, I was reading an article, really, is where I'm going with that thought. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was reading an article. And what they've discovered is in birds, like they can fly like millions of distances, and even birds that haven't done that distance knows their way.
Yeah.
and they always thought that it was that the birds were following the electromagnetic fields of the Earth's atmosphere. Yeah, and they thought it was something to do with the beak.
Right.
In the beak, but they've kind of worked it out that it's not. It's actually to do with the eye. There's a protein in the eye that did have a name, and I wrote it down, and I can't find it. But it's a protein on the eye, right, that basically helps them see the electromagnetic field. And they read I know, I found it fascinating. And they read the electromagnetic field that way. Now, cats' eyes, right, because cats have also got this innate ability to get to somewhere you can move and they'll find you.
Yeah.
Right, you can't get away from a cat. If it wants to be with you, it will be with you, right? Now, it actually has 3 parts to its eye. So it's got the the nicelating membrane, and then it's got another membrane that goes over the top. So there's 3 different types of eyelid, effectively.
Wow.
And they reckon that this protein will be found in a cat, but they haven't quite done that far. They've not quite got that far yet in the testing stage.
That's fascinating, actually.
That's incredible, isn't it? And if that is the case, that these animals are picking up or being able to see, air quoting, see electromagnetic fields, to find their way and navigate and stuff, that leads down a whole different story, doesn't it? Because if this protein is actually, if this protein is actually an integral part of that, and we have parts of that protein somewhere in our brain, then we might be picking up electromagnetic honestly, it's theories and thoughts, and it leads down so many different thought patterns on that one. It really does.
That is quite an interesting thought pattern, though.
Can you understand where I'm going with that?
Yeah. I mean, if we have it somewhere, then that could explain why maybe some people have more of it than others, which is why we'd be more open to spirit.
Quite possibly. I say, we're just chucking out brainstorming ideas on something that I found out about a bird's eye. But sorry, my dog just sneezed. Bless you.
What I'm thinking is, now you've thrown that out there, then maybe Ashley.
He's probably all over it anyway.
He's all over it right now.
He's actually in the chat room going, "Ooh, that was an interesting angle, KG. Wow, you like that one, didn't you, Mr. Nib?" It was an interesting concept, and I thought, God, if it is down to a protein, and that links into electromagnetic fields, well.
That's really...
As I say, if I go down that angle, I could be talking about that for absolutely ages, because it really got me thinking when I read that article in relation to... thank you. Got a gold star for that. I'm after the merit badge next. Anyway, I've got all blushy. It got me thinking about it, whether, I don't know if this protein is present in humans, but if it is, it opens up some incredibly interesting possibilities.
It does.
Bearing in mind how powerful it is for a bird. I mean, I know the protein's in the eye, but if it's in the brain, if it's somewhere in the brain, it could lead down a really interesting thought pattern.
It could explain an awful lot.
It could explain an awful lot. So I sort of led me down. You know what these things lead me down paths.
It's you, Kerry. You go off on little tangents.
I do. This is why they don't let me do the research very often, because I get too scientific. They go, "Oh God, she's gone fucking sciencey." Oh, I'm so sorry. I swore. I can tell it's a Friday night. So I said, right, okay. So I thought I'd have a look at the human body to see the differences. I wanted to see the differences between dogs, cats, and humans, to see why they might be picking up spirit in a way that we aren't. So like when we're sitting there watching TV and your dog reacts to something, I'm not saying it's a spirit, but it reacts to something, or your cat reacts to something, what the differences were. Now, obviously, we've just talked about the the scent smell with dogs, and then obviously the hearing with cats. And I know I went down off an angle there, but I always thought the human body had 5 senses.
Okay.
Right?
We do.
Obviously, sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell.
But you've also got your own abilities as well.
Well, many neurologists, in fact, one particular one particular neurologist I came across was a Dr. McCullough, right?
Okay.
Doctor in the house. He identified, generally it's quoted as 9 or more, and some have listed up to 21 senses.
21 senses?
Apparently so.
Which are?
Well, some of them are called interoceptive senses. Right? Ooh.
Well, that's interesting.
Where's my link gone? Oh, there it is. I've just lost my link. What are they? I don't know. I've just lost my link. These include the balance, and that's the sense of the body's alignment, which is different from what a cat does. But
that's mostly in a human would come down to...
I just thought that was just fluid things in the inner ear.
Yeah, your inner ear.
That's what I thought. I wouldn't have actually classed it as a sense.
No, I wouldn't have.
I would have thought that would have come under hearing.
Yeah.
But I'm not a doctor. This is what they're telling me. The organic sense, right, which is the sense of internal conditions such as hunger or thirst. So you're aware you're hungry or thirsty.
Okay.
And something called the proprioception, and this is where the brain's knowledge of relative positions of body parts. So like you know where your hand is, you know where your foot is, you know where your other bits are doing.
I think that's just somebody stretching things.
Well, so this is a Dr. McCullough, if anybody would like to look him up. Now, you know, like when they do sobriety tests?
Yeah.
That is the sense, the proprioception, is the sense they're testing. So like when you do the finger to nose test, they tell whether how drunk you are by whether or not you can put your finger on your nostril. Yeah, or up your nostril or on your forehead or whatever. Because that's a sense that gets affected by alcohol. So, yeah.
What you can't actually see is me and Kenny are sitting here touching our fingers.
We are actually touching our noses whilst talking about this to test this theory out. We're not that drunk yet, Kaz. Just saying. And then there are even more senses that he was talking about in relation to the spiritual side of things.
Okay.
But this stretches it a little further. But I'm not going to go into that because we want to get back to animals.
You can't do that.
Oh, I can do that. And we are going to do that. So,
Right. Well, let's go on to a sense of not animals sensing spirit, but animals coming through a spirit.
Very true.
Do you think they do that?
Yeah, I do.
What makes you think that?
Because I've had it.
Would you care to explain?
Well, when Sally passed, I lived in a different house, and I knew she'd passed because I felt her. I felt her around my leg, tripping me over like she used to, and I was like, "Oh God!" And I remember saying this to my partner at the time. I was like, "Oh my God, my dog doesn't live here," and he was like, "What?" I said, "I thought Sally was here for a minute," and he was like, "Well, she can't. She's eating Mum and Dad's," and I was like, oh my God. And then I found out Mum and Dad, they weren't in. And it turned out that at the sort of time it was happening, I had that experience. That happened with my nan too. I knew the moment my nan passed.
Yeah.
As well. My friends thought I was crazy until my mum and dad came home and actually said, yeah, and this was the time. And they were like, oh, you said that? I was like, yeah, I know. Like, you said I was crazy. Sorry. Oh. Hashtag just saying. Listen to me in future.
when my kids were small, we used to have a tricolour King Charles Cavalier called Bonnie. Yeah, well, she was a Bonnie lass, so we called her Bonnie. She was beautiful. She was a gorgeous dog. But when she passed, I was totally devastated. But me being known for having dream visits, a few weeks later, I did have a dream visit from Bonnie. But the strange thing was, the kids were little, so I used to take them to nursery school every single day.
Mm.
And what had happened was, in the dream, I'd taken the kids into nursery school, came walking out, and she was bouncing up and down in the field next to the nursery school. And she was just running about, and she was, like, looked really healthy, and she was really happy, and then she was gone.
Yeah. See, I do think you can see ghosts of animals, but I would say, this is a difficult one, right? Because we know that there have been ghost horses.
Yeah.
We know, obviously, cats and dogs are more of a personal experience to the family that pet belonged to. Yeah. But I remember talking to, I think it was Nick White in America, and he was talking about, he was doing an investigation and saw ghost cows.
Really?
Yeah, and I literally I went skeptical, I'm not going to lie. My eyebrows kind of like hit the roof. And I was like, sorry, did you just say ghost cows? In proper, like, posh English and everything. And everything like, you know. And he was like, yeah, he goes, no word of a lie. He said, ghost cows. I don't know. Who am I to argue? Do you know what I mean? But would you, if you was in Africa, would you see like a ghost lion or a ghost baboon? Baboon?
I don't know. That'd be really strange when you think about it. But really, it wouldn't be, because it's animals that would be in that area. So then it wouldn't be strange, would it?
So in Australia, they get ghost kangaroos.
If you live in Australia, can you please let us know if you've had a dream visit from a ghost kangaroo?
Well, or no, not even a dream visit, just a visit from a ghost
just a
kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
It's a kangaroo now.
Kangaroo.
A kangaroo. Kangaroo. Yeah, I like spelling it out in my head now. But do you know what I mean? Oh, Mr. Paul Rook has entered the room and he's just talking about a mongoose.
Oh, God.
The mongoose haunts me. That blooming mongoose haunts me, that's for sure. But my point with that is there a difference then between what we have made as close proximity to humans, yeah, like animals that are in close proximity to humans, so even down to, even cows are quite close proximity to humans if you think of the connection a farmer will have to their herd.
Of course.
Yeah, you can laugh, Mr. Nib. But you, I wish I'd, you know, like, cats, when there are days where you wish you hadn't started something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, these that just go all right.
Mine involves a mongoose. Hours of fun.
Mm. I'm sure I've heard this story.
Yeah, you have. Many times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if the link here with the ghost factor of animals is not the animal, it's the link that humans have to the animal. The stronger the link, the more likely you are to get a ghost of it. So, like, you've got a ghost cat or a ghost dog. You know what I mean? I remember a case years and years and years ago. It was going back to the very early days of the like the Harry Price kind of days. It might have actually been a Harry Price case, thinking about it. And it was one of those, that era. And it was a really famous haunting of a bird of an inn in London. Oh, God. You know, like when it's on the tip of your bloody brain and you can't remember the details. And what they did was they put talcum powder all across the floor. Yeah, sealed the room. Went back the next morning and in the talcum powder was like, I want to say footprints, but they're not, are they? They're like claw, three-fingered claw bird print, basically, on the floor. Now, I know, because I looked in to see if that location was still there, out of interest. I can't even remember the location. It was I'm going to have to look that up after the show now because that's going to bug me. But it isn't. It's actually now part of Temple Farm. Not Temple Farm. Temple, you know, the solicitors and where all the solicitors are, the Temple.
Oh, yeah. Right, got you.
Yeah, it's there. Oh, my brain tonight for anyway, again, off topic. So anyway, we've gone off sidetracked. See, Mark isn't here to keep us in line, is he?
Yeah.
And how many people have had... Yeah, but we've got no aliens. Although he probably would argue cats are aliens.
He probably would. It's Mark, you would.
Very true. Now, I mean, there are many cases, aren't there, of deceased pets making their presence known. Like, even if it's down to, like, hearing their collars jingle and stuff like that.
But the thing is, I mean, most people, if you speak to them, the pets are like their kids.
Yeah.
So it isn't surprising you would have that connection with them. I know I'd be devastated if anything happened to cats.
Well, this is true, and it is devastating when you lose a pet.
And think about it. I mean, one of my cats hurt her paw at Christmas, and I actually was on the phone to you at the time when she came in hobbing about, and for 3 days I was in a mad panic because she'd hurt her paw.
Mm. Oh God, I know that. I remember that one.
Yeah, remember that one.
Yeah, Kaz does love a drama.
The poor cat.
I know, she was panicking big time over that one. I was like, it'll be fine. I mean, honestly, it'll be fine.
Just hurt her paw, but me.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just as bad with my Marley, so I can't really say anything. Now,
so go ahead. What were you thinking?
I was thinking the relationship humans have with animals is actually incredibly close, isn't it? When you think that there are many cultures that look at animals and you like taking on the characteristics of an animal or shape-shifting into an animal.
Yeah.
Many cultures look at that. So the relationship between humans and animals is incredibly close.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, Mark, bless him, he likes to find a weird one. Now, he found a case of hyenas that were causing possession. Some African tribes viewed the animal state as the pure state, right? Mm-hmm. Apparently it's unmodified by rules and constraints imposed by the human society, which makes sense because animals, particularly things like hyenas and, you know, the wild animals, they run purely by instinct, don't they?
Yeah.
And physical need, I would assume, is in there too. Like they're hungry, they hunt. They thirsty, they find water. You know, it's all very instinctual. Now, the African tribes try to achieve and experience this state by various rituals that are meant to transfer the animal spirit into the human body. And there are many cases. I mean, he found a hyena one, but this is something if the Native Americans talked about an awful lot, didn't they?
Yeah. But they were very fond of their animals, the Native Americans. They had a very close bond with their animals.
They had a very close bond with the whole environment, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But I mean, animals as well. They did have a very... They put them in high regard. Mm-hmm. Put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, incredible respect for animals. Now, the most common cause of possession caused by animals was said to be those in which a man was possessed by the spirit of the hyena. And the human would begin to walk on all fours, roll on the floor, bite and eat raw meat, and even make those like guttural, you know, that laughter, very distinctive laughter hyenas. I was going to attempt it then, I thought better of it. See, I do filter. Not often, but not a lot, but I do filter occasionally. They make the human that's got this possessed hyena thing going on makes those kind of noises. Mm-hmm. But it does take on various forms and features depending on the region of Africa, depending on the tribe, I would think, and the belief system surrounding it.
Yeah. I think that would have a large part to do with it. It would be individual to each tribe. It wouldn't be just one fits all, if you know what I mean. Because they all have very different belief systems, so...
Yeah. I mean, in the western part of Africa, the hyena is actually seen as a symbol of immoral behaviour. In the east of Africa, it is actually respected as the solar animal that brought the sun to warm the entire world.
Okay.
In Tanzania, hyenas are witches' familiars, and the witches are thought to ride them. God, I want a hyena now.
You can't have a hyena, love.
Why not? I want a hyena.
Because it's Friday night. Where am I finding a hyena?
I'm going to go and raid a zoo for a hyena. This is not, this is called a Buddha, and that's the individual's ability to turn into a hyena.
See, that's the thing. It's
to achieve this state, the ones who are said to practice this technique do it in order to achieve their own goals. So they usually steal or kill a hyena for that. But this is one of the reasons why hyenas were executed.
Yeah.
But there is a difference because it feels very werewolfy at the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit like werewolves.
It does feel very werewolfy. In European, werewolves returned to their human form after the moon passes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the old Buddhas didn't. They just, they just stayed like it.
Wow. That's kind of creepy.
I know.
It's kind of creepy. Yeah.
So when you look at the relationship between man and animal, whether that be, I mean, we're talking about very Western view of animals with the pet thing, but you've got to remember tribes would have such a connection to their environment and the animals that surrounded them. So it crosses over into that one as well. Now going back in time, right? Cats.
Egyptians.
Exactly. When you think of Egyptians, you think
of
cats, don't you?
Yes.
And they were the actual manifestations of the goddesses Bastet and Mafdet.
Well, they worshipped cats.
And
they absolutely worshipped cats.
And the punishment for killing a cat was death.
Yeah.
Now in Burma, little fact for you, there was a Buddhist temple which was the only place in the world these Burma cats existed. Right? Now, when the Europeans saw them, they were like absolutely fell in love with these cats because they are so unique. And their eyes, aren't they? They've got the piercing blue eyes. Now, they wanted to grab some because us Europeans, we love to take stuff back to Europe. But the monks wouldn't allow it. But in the end, one lovely European nobleman, doesn't state which one, made a very generous donation to the temple. And as a sign of gratitude, the monks actually gave him a pair of Burmese cats. Now, on the way back, the male died on the ship. It couldn't bear the stress of the journey. I mean, it's been a pampered puss, isn't it? For God knows how long in this temple in Burma. And then, but the female, typical, was pregnant. And that's how Burmese cats came to Europe.
Wow. But do you know what? That's fascinating, though. That is fascinating. If you can trace cats. The Egyptians, they loved their cats. As far as they were concerned, they were gods.
Yeah.
Really?
They really were.
Yeah, they were gods.
Uh-huh.
Simple as.
Cats are weird creatures, though, aren't they, honey? They're very independent.
Yeah, they're not... you're not a cat owner, you're a cat slave. Really?
That is very true.
You're just there to serve their needs. You've got to feed them and make sure they're looked after, and they'll trot off and do their own thing and
occasionally purr at you and rub themselves on you.
Yeah,
or claw
usually
you
when they want something. We want more food.
Yeah, I want more food. I'm going to claw you. It's like when they do the kneading thing on your leg. It's not love. That's not love, everybody. You think it's them showing that is control.
Yeah.
Through pain.
Yeah. But do you know what? Our cats are lovely, so...
I know, you do love your cat. I loved my cat when I had him. And funny enough, I had a dream the other night of a cat, and I was calling a cat to come live with me. Yeah. So I'm half expecting a cat to just like decide to come live here. Funny enough, next door I've just got a brand new cat. It's a tabby without a tail. And it keeps trying to come in the house.
Really?
Yeah. And now we're getting these lovely, lovely weather that we've been having. I'm wondering if, like, with all the doors and the windows, one day I'll come in, or, like, I'll be working and then this cat will just plod upstairs and make itself home on one of the beds or something. And I'll be like...
Yeah, cats do that.
Yeah, exactly. I want to sleep
just
here.
Take over the house.
Yeah, I want to sleep here and no one's going to move me. But man's fascination with cats actually gave birth to entire lore, folklore in this regard.
I love this. I absolutely love this. A widespread legend states that when a cat sees a person for the very first time, it says exactly the time, the place, and the manner in which that person is going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that.
That is a scary thought. Hi, Bear. Bear is in at the chat room as well. Congratulations, Bear. You won the tarot reading.
Congratulations, Bear.
Yeah, well done, Bear. I'll be in touch. We'll get that organised. Sorry, Kaz, I interrupted. That's very rude of me.
That's okay. I'm used to it.
Sorry, I do it all the time.
I'm used to it. In addition to this, if someone does not treat a cat well, then that person should fear the cat's curse, which lasts for 7 generations.
7 generations, not just 7 years, 7 generations. That cat
7
holds a grudge.
Yeah.
Holds a grudge.
Damn, they can hold grudges. For the Japanese, should a cat be disrespected or mistreated, its tail would split in two and the cat itself would become a necromata, a demonic cat bent on seeking revenge. It could then raise the dead and send them to torment him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I bet you're all looking at your cats weird now.
Yeah, I bet those cats know when you're going to die, mate. They know the time, the date, everything. They know when you're going to pop your clogs.
They know everything.
It's like it's when the day before they all move out. That's when you've got to start worrying. They'll go find a new home, someone else to feed them and take care of their every need.
It's really... Do you know what? It gives a whole new perspective on cats, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
When you think about it, the whole cat slave thing, because we're all slaves to them. Yeah. So that would explain why.
I know when you're going to die. Be good to me. Now, there are eagles, crows, are also associated with death, but they're the ones that are supposed to lead the spirits of the dead to the other world, stop them from getting lost, just in case. Oh. Do you know what I mean? Just in case you get lost on your way, if you've got an eagle or a crow.
Yeah.
I want an eagle. I want a golden eagle to lead me to the afterworld.
You know what you want, don't you?
God, yeah. I tell you, it's going to go down in my funeral plan. I'm telling you. I'm going to make it as hard for my children as possible.
So nice of her, isn't it?
I know. I'm a lovely parent. I like to give my children challenges. Now, cats are allegedly supposed to absorb negative energies as well.
Well, you can understand that because when cats are with you, I mean, like sat with you, they proper cuddle up to you, don't they? You feel sick or you feel like horrible or whatever, and you feel better when your cat's there.
And also, hasn't there been studies done of bringing pets into wards, and they've noticed that they can help with the healing process just by being there, as it were.
Yeah. That's actually a really nice thought. They have done cases of this where they've taken pets into wards, haven't they? And just mostly children's wards to help the kids. Mm-hmm. And it's perked the kids up no end, having the pets there with them. So maybe it's true. Maybe there's something in that.
Maybe there is.
I
mean, other creatures... See, when we started looking into this, I mean, again, a huge topic because we could have gone into lots of folklore and gods that are associated with animals. There was so much, wasn't there, in regards to animals and the paranormal. It wasn't just whether cats and dogs can sense spirit. It led into a whole folklore kind of scenario.
The Beast of Bodmin Moor and all that.
Yeah, Black Shooks, which we're doing as a separate show in a few weeks' time, aren't we? But it is we found it very cultural.
Yeah.
Didn't we? Because in Egypt, going back to Egypt, crocodiles were also worshipped as messengers of the god Sobek.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, the Nile is a very integral part of their society in Egypt. And so the Egyptians always respected and addressed prayers to these beings. And obviously, sailors on the Nile obviously used... that's who they prayed to, was Sobek, to keep them, keep the crocodiles at bay while they were out fishing. Like, please be nice to us and don't send your crocodiles after us. Kind of scenario. And the lion was actually held in high regard as well, believe it or not, in Egypt.
Yeah.
And she was the messenger of the goddess Sekhmet.
Sekhmet. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Going to Greece, good old Zeus and Apollo.
Yeah.
They were associated with a wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, when you think of the Bible, Remus and Romulus, they were raised as children of the wolf, weren't they? What was that noise?
One of my kids upstairs. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I thought you was having a bit of poltergeist activity going on there.
Well, I have got 3 teenagers, you never know.
This is true. And now, the leopard as well. When you think the leopard in Western Africa, there's a cult of the leopard.
Yeah.
In the Mesoamerica, the Maya, the Aztecs, and the Olmec, they worship the jaguar.
But you see the little trend here?
Uh-huh.
Most of them are cats.
Exactly. Exactly.
A lot of them are cats, which explains a lot.
Mm-hmm. Although, to be different, as Japanese believe the centipede to be the messenger of the god Bishamonten, who was the god of war and treasure. A centipede. Ooh. I saw an enormous, when I was in Greece, there was this huge, might have been a millipede. Didn't stop and ask it. It was absolutely huge and big and black. I proper did a freak out on that. And that was in Greece. That wasn't as far as Japan. I nearly went Japanish. I nearly said Japanish.
Japanish. They have a lot of those in Greece.
Horrible.
They have a lot of those in Greece.
It's not important in Greece, but in Japan, the centipede is supposed to be the messenger of the god of war and treasure. And the treasure was the Buddhist teaching that could lead the individual to the path of achieving enlightenment. So nobody dared to kill a centipede.
There was also ways for a person to distinguish between a regular centipede and one sent as a messenger by the god. The regular one showed up in wet and common places such as the bathroom or in the courtyard, while the one sent by the god appeared in auspicious places, in the office or in the library. They had a golden glow. So they kind of had an aura about them.
An aura?
They had an aura about them. A golden aura. And that's how you could distinguish them.
Oh, sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat room. Oh, okay. I need to bump my mic up. Oh, I hate to be quiet.
Very quiet.
I know. I'm going. Hold on. Let me just bump that right up. Bear is saying that eagles will take you to the other side. Is a high honour, and she's saying that we'll have to. Oh, Bear is awesome.
Bear, we need to get you back on.
We do. She wants to tell us a story about how the eagles took a soul of her friend.
Oh.
But I'm sure we'll definitely. Well,
Bear, we'll sort that out.
We will sort that out because we are going to have you back on most definitely because you are a fascinating lady, absolutely fascinating. Carl's in the chat room. Hi, Carl. See, love Carl. They're all lining up for the after show party already.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
The likely suspects. The likely suspects. So anyway, where were we? We were on centipedes and millipedes, weren't we? And I went off into the chat room.
Yeah, you did.
I did. Now, but I find the Japanese culture all a little weird, to be fair.
Why?
Because they're a little weird, aren't they? They have really weird things going on.
Well, that's very judgmental, Kerry.
You don't know this about me already?
Well, other animals respected by the Japanese are foxes, badgers, cats and spiders.
See the difference between Western culture and their regard of foxes, badgers, not so much cats, but spiders.
Foxes are the messengers of the god Inari and god of rights and prosperity.
Right, well, we need to start being a bit nicer to foxes then, don't we, guys?
Do we need to? Yeah, we do need to. Yeah.
Do we?
I don't like foxes. They scare me.
What foxes do?
Yeah.
I tell you, I have a pair of garden shoes that I use because obviously I have a dog, so I have a specific pair of shoes that I use for the garden because I think it's self-explanatory. There, but they live pretty much in the nice weather. They live outside and right by the back door, so I can run out into the garden if I need to. Anyway, at the moment they're outside because it's nice weather, right? Anyway, my local fox is a lovely dog fox. He's enormous. He comes into my garden every single night and frolics in my long grass that needs cutting badly tomorrow. That's a task for the morning. And I bet it's about 8 o'clock at night I end up getting time to do it. Anyway, off topic, back on topic. He loves my shoe. He plays with my shoe all the time. I found it in the middle of the lawn the other day. You can't really call it a lawn, more a meadow at the moment.
But this is the thing. Foxes are becoming more urbanised.
Oh, God, of course
because they've got nowhere else to go. Because people keep building things and driving them out of their habitats.
I haven't
got
a problem with foxes.
I don't have a problem with them. I just think every time I see one, I think that's going to bite me. That's the thing. I think it might bite me.
What, a fox or a badger?
Yeah, a fox.
Just a fox?
Yeah.
They run away. Oh, I used to love walking home from the club. When we used to come out the club, we used to walk past this field. And there was this really old bungalow, and there was a den of foxes right underneath this, where they'd sort of done their den underneath. Yeah. And they used to bring their babies out to play just as we were coming out the club. And we used to sit there and talk and watch the baby foxes, the cubs, the baby foxes. I'm so technical tonight. The cubs playing. It was awesome. But foxes can take on a human form whenever they want to, apparently.
I can believe
fox, that is. Well, got to remember Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Well, Bears just said in the chat room, wild animals will not come near you unless they are sick. You two are killing me. Ha 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 ha.
Thank God Mark wasn't on, is all I can say. Oh, yeah. Right, get this about spiders. Right, now I will just put this out there. I'm a lover of all natural things, natural, lovely, I won't, until it enters my house. And a big spider does not last long in my house. And I'm not one to be able to pick one up and chuck it outside. I have to just suck it up with the hoover. And I do apologise to Buddha every time I do it. I go, I'm so sorry. I know I'm killing another soul, but I just can't have it in my house. Right? Now, apparently, if a spider reaches the age of 400...
Really?
I wonder what that is in human years.
Oh, I don't know, Kerry. Now you're stretching.
Well, but we know that for every year of a person, a dog is 7 years, don't we? I don't know how they worked that out. Was that on the ageing process that they worked that out? How fast humans age compared to how fast dog? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how they managed to work this one out. But when a 400-year-old spider, could you imagine it? Sitting up there on your ceiling going, I'm 399 years old. I've only got 1 year left, and then I'm going to develop magical powers, and then just be sucked up by the hoover.
Oh,
nearly made it.
Kerry, you need to get a glass and a piece of paper and just scoop it up and put it outside.
I can't. I'm with spiders. It's the one thing I can't deal with in that way. I can deal with bumblebees in that way, but then I always talk to the bumblebee, and the bumblebee will always leave.
Yeah.
I had one in here today, and it was massive. They must have been in steroids this
yeah,
over
no,
the winter. They're absolutely huge. Right?
Yeah.
It come flying in with its tiny little wings and its massive, great big furry body. And I just looked at it and I went, really nothing in here for you? You need to go out. And it sort of buzzed around for a bit, and then it went in the conservatory. I was like, no, don't go in the conservatory. Don't, because the spiders, obviously. There's a lot of spider webs out there. I didn't want to get...
Yeah.
Because, you know, actually, I do allow spiders to live in the conservatory. That's one place I do allow them to live, right? Because, I don't know.
Do you know what? Bear made a really good point. Spiders, we need to respect they are the weavers of balance. That makes sense.
No, they're amazing. And the spirit totem of a spider is absolutely incredible. I just can't bear them when they decide to... You know, it's not the little ones. I don't care about the little ones, or even the current bun-bodied ones with the really long legs. Them ones, they can do what they like. I'll let them survive.
That's nice if you can.
It's the hunter ones, you know, like the big... Not that we have hunter spiders in the UK, guys. I get that. But they are like a hunter spider. They haven't got... They're the big... double-bodied, furry-legged, tarantula-y looking type ones. Them ones. They're the ones I can't deal with. I'll tell you a funny story, right? I come home and with the kids one night, and I turned the lights on. I got into the kitchen, and my little Leo, went, Mummy, look, there's a daddy long legs. And I was like, what? And he was like, there's a daddy long legs on the wall. And I was like, where? And he went, there. Now, where I was stood, the wall was like about a foot away from my face. And I literally turned my head, and there was this absolutely huge spider right, like literally nose to nose with me, eyeing me up, right?
Eyeing you up.
It was with all 8 eyes, I would like to add. It didn't just use 1 or 2, it used all 8 eyes. And I was like, oh my God, right? So I darted forward into the dining room out the way so it couldn't eye me up anymore. And then Ryder looked up and there were 4 more biggies on the ceiling. It was like arachnophobia in his house that night. Oh my God. Now, I wonder why my kids are now scared of spiders. It could be something to do with my reaction.
I think it probably was.
It could possibly have been. Yeah, it could possibly have been.
Can I point something out? I mean, what's the biggest spider you've ever seen?
To be fair, the biggest one I've seen...
In inches, centimetres, inches, whatever.
Oh, my God. It would be at the London Zoo in their spider enclosure. I didn't go in. I was just like... I was sort of in the foyer bit.
Yeah.
And Leo went in because Leo's fearless.
Yeah.
And I'm going, careful, Leo, careful, like this. But, they had all sorts in there. But they had a proper Australian hunter spider, and that was freaking huge. I've never seen... I was like, oh my God. I mean, you think tarantulas are big, but hunters are even bigger, aren't they?
Right, listen. In relation to you, as a human being, this thing is tiny. What is it going to do?
Mate, seriously...
It's a tiny little spider. It's not going to hurt you.
No, I know. Another funny story with spiders, just before we finish up. I know I've gone right off topic now. We've gone right down it. Right. Another one, this is dead funny. I used to have my friend live with me in the house called Lara, and she had her boyfriend called Mark here. And we were sitting there watching TV. And then literally, we were just sitting there watching and talking and whatnot. He literally leapt off the sofa. Now, Lara, you think I'm tiny. You think I'm quite short. She's smaller than me, right? Yeah. She's a wee teeny tiny girl, right?
Like me.
This 6'2" bloke, strapping lad, you know what I mean, muscle bound boy, literally leapt into her arms. Her face was an absolute classic. Oh my God, what are you doing? Kind of moment, right? Yeah. I start laughing. Because I'm thinking, what the fuck? And all he's doing is he's literally like crawled up into like a little ball on her lap going, spider, spider, spider. This spider. Even I was going, what? That's not a spider. Do you know what I mean? It weren't like a great big like trip, trap kind of spider. It was just like a normal kind of... Oh, we were crying. He's never lived that down. I would just like to point that out.
Well, before we end up, I will give you a classic story about a spider.
Go on.
And my sister hates them. Hates them. But she lived in a high-rise flat. She was on the 15th floor with her 2 kids. Now, bear in mind at the time, I think Bethany was a baby and Joshua was about 2.5. Right? So she lived 5 miles from my mum and dad. She literally went into her kitchen, saw a spider, got the babies, got them ready, put them in the buggy, took them out the flat, got on a bus, went all the way up, knocked on my mum and dad's door. My dad said, "What are you doing here?" She went, "There's a spider in my kitchen, you need to go and kill it."
Anyway, we got off a bit off topic. We did actually get a bit off topic on that. We went into spider stories.
Spiders.
Mark would be actually mortified because there was so much more. He's going to so kill us because we didn't do half of his research. But he did an amazing job on the research. At the beginning, we talked about the relationship between pets and people and various senses of the two. So we went very sciencey right at the top of the show, and then we sort of disintegrated into folklore, and then actually ended up talking about personal spider experiences. Now, guys, we have actually run out of time on the show, I'm afraid. Congratulations once again to Bear Medicine Walker. She is the proud winner of the tarot reading with the one and only myself. Now, don't forget, guys, we are on Podbean. That's all the archive shows, so that's the old shows going up on there that you can catch up with. At the moment, all the KTPF shows, interviews are on there. And I'm starting to upload Seventh Sanctum shows. They're starting to go up there. So if you want to have a little revisit of those, go and check out Podbean. We are on YouTube. We actually have 2 channels on YouTube now.
Don't ask.
Don't ask. Hashtag don't ask. But as soon as I've got it sorted properly, then I will share the link to the new one. Oh dear. Where else are we? We're on SoundCloud, Podbean, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn under Kerry Greenaway, unfortunately, because I can't work out how to change that to Parasearch Radio yet. Hashtag so many jobs to do. So guys, we are getting everywhere. If you want to get in contact with us, just pop us a message, and we are your radio station bringing the paranormal to you guys. It's all about you guys. It's not about us. This is about you and your paranormal community. And
so tell us what you want to hear about.
Yeah, we want to know what you guys want us to talk about.
Let us know what you want us to talk about, and we'll come on air and talk about it.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, facepalm. It was definitely a facepalm moment with that particular one. That certainly was. It was like, oh my God, kind of moment. Anyway, on that note, thank you so much for joining us in the chat room. It's been great watching and reading your comments throughout the show. Next week, Sunday evening, we are back on, first of all, and Sunday afternoon, early Sunday evening at 7 p.m, our lovely very own Kaz Rooney is going live on our Facebook group page. Questions and answers.
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
No, I'm not.
Of course you're not. You're used to it. You're an old
I'm
pro.
used to it. I've done this before.
You're an old pro at live sessions on Facebook, aren't you? She is the first presenter I have yet to nag mercilessly said other presenters. Hashtag coming up. They don't know that yet.
Hashtag Sunday evening at 7 o'clock. Someone's doing a live feed.
Someone's doing a live feed over the next few weeks. Question and answers. Join Kaz on the Parasearch Radio Facebook group page. That's where she's going to go live. So you can ask her anything you want. She'll answer anything you want, including
what
what
is that still laughing at?
No idea. Including what was the score today, Kaz?
6-1.
Yeah, 6-1 score. We
Oh,
like that.
before
we
we
like
go-
that kind of score.
Before we go, is there not something we've got to say? From Mark.
What?
Aliens!
Oh God, we did a whole show with only a couple couple of like little mentions that I heard you get in there. At 9 p.m. on Sunday evening, I have got the amazing MJ Dixon in the studio. We are officially launching Sage Paracon 2018 and Parasearch's involvement in that. Do not miss that show. MJ was at Salem Con last week. She's just caught up with her jet lag. She is going to be in the studio talking all about it. And if Carl is saying he's got her first, I'm going to kill him.
No, I'm laughing at Ashley's in the chat.
He's filling in Mark Manley's shoes, is all I can say. Anyway, so don't forget, Sunday 9 p.m, we've got MJ Dixon in the studio with us, talking about Salem.com and the Sage Paracon 2018 launch night. On that note, thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for listening. Say goodnight, my lovely.
Good night, everyone.
And we'll see you very, very soon. Good night.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join us for more shows throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and the World Wide Web to keep up to date with all the shows right here on Parasearch Radio.